সবাইকে কাঁদায় তুমি নিজেও তত কাঁদলে খোদা নিজেও তত কাঁদলে
Okay, so okay, we are live, hopefully, and you should be able to hear my voice, and you should be able to have heard, or if you were here already, you were hearing music. So, sweet. Okay, cool. Sign in if you're here. Just so everybody understands, we're on Twitch at HoopPath Backs. We're on YouTube. Actually, it looks like we're not on YouTube. Okay. Don't know if that is true. If you're on YouTube and watching that, and you can let me know if you're actually on YouTube, that would be great. But it looks like we might not be. The streams, if you're new to this, they kind of come and go. And sometimes we get shut down for different reasons. And sometimes it's not the music at all. It's just that the stream goes bad. So we're on HoopPath Backs. Okay, it looks like we should be going pretty good on YouTube. Okay, cool. All right, thanks, guys. Okay, so I'm going to get going. First of all, I got a little bit of just order. Newfoundland, sweet. One, I really appreciate everybody sharing these things. I'm doing my best to get the word out, and I know that it's really difficult to stay up to date with everything. And so my homepage or my Facebook homepage is probably the best place to keep up. But there's also the HoopPath page, and you can actually watch the Facebook stream from there. My website is horribly out of date, and I'll be working on that. I want to say big thanks to everybody that's been joining me on these. I really love it. Here in North Carolina, we were just found out today, we have 2.5 more weeks of being, inside. So I plan to keep going for at least that long. And then with my class, hey there, Ohio. And then with my class, I'd like to keep the Monday one going. We will have a jam this Saturday, and I'll just kind of keep that going until there's no interest. And if it keeps going, then cool. I imagine after we go back to life, whatever it looks like, that I won't be doing the jams. So I wanted to, because this is sort of an intro to HoopPath channel, I wanted to do a class based on ways that you can stay excited and kind of fall back in love with your hoop or the movement or whatever. And so it's going to be 3 o'clock. The jam is going to be 3 o'clock. Camping in Oklahoma, right on. That's probably the safest place you could be. Anyway, so I want to talk a little bit about how this class is going to work. Now, I've been hooping since 2001, and I will be honest with you, and I know this is going to sound kind of like maybe a privileged thing to say, but I have always had hoop motivation. Like, even in my lowest times of being motivated, I was still hooping a lot more than a lot of people. But there were some sort of influences that maybe wouldn't affect you so much, but I was a professional hooper, and I was going around and teaching people, so I felt like I had to hoop a lot. I felt like I owed it to the people that were paying to get instruction from me to hoop that much, so I was motivated by that. But I have gone through and looked at my practice over time and realize that there are some things that I'm doing, maybe that just come naturally to me, but that I am doing and that I can share with you that I think would help you, stay in your groove with the hoop or find your hoop. I talked about stalled inertia, and inertia is a really good thing to think about in whatever your movement practice is. It's like the longer you take a break, that body of motion gets closer and closer to a perfect rest, and it's a lot harder to restart that momentum. And so today, and tonight, I want to talk about ways to keep the inertia of your movement practice, and forget about it whether it's hooping or not. It's movement. Like, I really do believe the mountain that I'm going to die on is that movement makes you better. Like, it makes you better at whatever you're doing, handling your kids or whatever you're doing, getting through college. It makes you better at those things. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to lead you through a class. This playlist is completely on SoundCloud, and I'll go public with it as soon as it is. And I've written a sort of flow to this. Now, here's how this is going to work. We're going to sway, and I'm going to kind of guide you. And so this whole class is it's authored as if you are completely uninspired. And the idea is that anytime flow takes over, you just take that flow. But sometimes there's moments where you just don't feel flow coming, and that's what this is for. So at any point, like if you're feeling it, you could turn the volume down on me and turn on your favorite tunes or whatever. But these are just some tricks that I have learned over the years to help keep me engaged. All right, so here we're going to go, and we're going to start off with sway. Let me know if the music is okay. Here we go.
Welcome to your paradise.
All right. Audible breath in.
Welcome to your new
Teaching tricks. Maybe the first time. Audible breath in. And bring my mic up a little bit.
It's just for you.
Okay. Audible breath in.
It's just for you.
Audible breath in. If you're new to my classes, what I'm doing right now is called sway. And we use sway in the HoopPath
Welcome to your
to initiate rhythm. For exactly those moments when you're uninspired, we create a very simple rhythm, a very simple metaphor, a very simple vision, and we begin to move that way.
Welcome to your
Audible breath in. If you're new to this, you can stretch, you can roll on the ground. I want you to know that tonight is a class. This is not a demonstration. And so the hope is that you'll participate as much as you can. Audible breath in. If you think about when you're bored, when you're disinterested, louder mic, gotcha? Thank you guys. Keep me posted. I want to be loud enough. When you're bored, when you're less interested, it's as if all of you isn't there. There's not enough to pull you all in. And the body moves the same way. And one of the tricks I have learned is to pretend that the body's not bored, to make it look as if it is not bored. And to do that, I recruit every part of the body into my movement. And I have noticed that the more that I commit my body, the more into it I become. Audible breath in. It's as if I push out into my reach. I push out into the expanse of my touch. And it pulls me in. And with it, my mind follows in. Audible breath in. One way that we can become bored or disinterested is we become complacent. We become too complacent in our comfort. And in our movement, we can kind of move in that way, whereas I'm reaching out of my comfort zone way back into what may look awkward or feel awkward. And the more movement I engage in, however it may appear, the more pulled in I am into myself and my body in that moment. Audible breath in. Okay, I hope everything is sounding okay and you can hear me. I hope we're still broadcasting. Okay, so for this next exercise, one of the ways that I have warmed up my practices when I am not exactly feeling it, or just maybe I'm distracted by what I've got to do. I will do something that I love to do with the hoop that is super, super simple. Now this is going to be the hard part of the class because I'm going to be doing something that fits the exercise, but you could be doing something completely different. You could be doing a completely different move. But what I want you to do is pick something simple. Pick something simple to start with, and I'm going to start with a vertical roll. It could be a weave, you could be waist hooping, anything. Don't worry, the song is going to pick up. And I use exercises like this in my practice, and I've been practicing since '01. And they're really meant to kind of hypnotize me into my practice. That I pick something simple so that I have this kind of Zen-like repetition going on and on. Now, whatever the movement is doesn't matter. Like tonight, for instance, I've already done this class, and this is what I did the first time I did it on my own today. And I'm just doing one move right now. And I'm letting my mind think about whatever it wants to think about. It could be thinking about something super deep or something super light. I'm not trying to control it right now. I'm not trying to shush it, put any limits on where it can go. But the more I move, the more my awareness starts to focus on my body. And if my eyes look up at my hands, it makes them want to draw or move. Again, you could be doing any movement, but what I'm suggesting is to find a song and start with a very simple movement. And then the whole time, as I said in the opening, I'm hoping flow takes over. Flow just took over for Anne. I'm hoping flow takes over. And by taking over, I mean that, if I start to insert other things and I get carried away, I don't need a structure. A lot of times in this opening, single focus type exercise, it's really where I start to realize where the first half of my practice is going to go. Doing the same motion. And then I could add maybe another motion to it. If you haven't already, I could add a second motion. One motion. Doesn't matter what the move is. I could be waist hooping right now. But I'm purposefully limiting my movements to a move that I know and I like, or a way of hooping that I know and I like. Because I know and I like it, I'm not freaked out about losing it. I feel super cool. I feel super confident. course, any point you could take off into your own flow and bring a lot more than 2 movements. But for me, for the purposes of this video, I'm going to stay as I recommend. If you're just getting here, tonight's class is all about finding ways to, almost like finding runways to take off in your flow. Hey, Mary. Thanks, everybody, for joining in. Okay. Actually, I want to show you something with this next exercise, but I want to keep the movement going. So I'm going to just demo this just for a second. But sometimes what you need are new moves or new ways. And of course, you can get online and look for them that way. But you can also try different exercises. And I'm not saying that you'll find some move that changes the internet, but you might find like a movement that you enjoy. And what I want you to try to do right now, well, this is what I did. And this would be an example of a movement generator. I'll go ahead and bring the music back. But what I do is I'm swinging the hoop back and forth. I could be gripping it, or I could be in double point with it. I'm going to choose double point. And I'm going to start swinging the hoop forward or back, left and right. And then as I'm doing this, I start to just add more and more to it. Like right now, I'm shifting my weight back and forth. And then, this is the hard part, I just tune out to the music, or tune out to what I'm listening to, and I start to let my hands just do what they want. I know this sounds kind of weird, and maybe this is a path that only, me being a weirdo can find, but you start with something simple. This is if I wanted to just start gripping it. See how I'm switching my grip? And so what I'm suggesting is you find a simple rhythm. Like I've got this just nice, easy swing, and then I can start to add or allow, more likely, just different hand improvisational movements. So I'm swinging. If you get lost, go back to something easy, and then you just start to, then you just start to improvise. We're going to do this together. I'm just starting with a simple swing, and I'm just trying to open up and do weird stuff. I could tap it on the bottom, try to balance it, but if I get lost, I come back to this swing. Any moment that flow starts to take over, I go with it. You take a simple move and you let that move just dance. Don't worry about how amazing it could be, just how good it feels now. If you've been hooping or moving long enough, you've already learned that you forget really cool stuff. You forget cool entryways, cool portals, cool moves that you learned. So sometimes reigniting your practice is about finding that portal again. Finding cool things with the hoop you just like to do. And following them where they take you. All right. Okay, so there's one more aspect of any kind of practice that can be super motivating. Hopefully you guys can hear me and everybody's still there. That can be super motivating for you are results. When you see results from a movement practice or any endeavor, it just has this way. And one of the ways that you can see results is from using the hoop to get cardio and to get the heart rate up and to get that sort of detoxing apparatus going inside of you. So I am a big proponent of every hoop session at least getting the heart up for 4 or 5 minutes, because just the buzz that you feel after 4 or 5 minutes of cardio can be enough to bring you back into the hoop the next day. So we're going to start any way you want to, but we're going to be on the waist. Now, because we're not going to spend the whole night on cardio, we're going to warm up the body and really bring all the parts into it by using a concept called 2 trees or hot coals. 2 trees means that you move your feet almost the whole time. That you try to keep 1 foot on the ground. Well, only 1 foot, let's put it that way. No, there's nothing wrong with having 2, and you can rock that if you want to. There are loads of ways to hoop that are not core hooping, but I feel like core hooping gets it going, gets the body going the quickest. Audible breath in. Right. Now again, hopefully flow takes over any minute. And you're moving any way you want to. I'm keeping it on my waist right now, but you could have the hoop anywhere on the core that you want. But if the flow doesn't come, then I can direct it and I can send it up to my shoulders on purpose. And I have a first current that I open and a second current that I open. Sometimes that inspiring bit is in second current, buried. Right? I like this track. If you like this music, this playlist will be on SoundCloud right after class. If you're having trouble motivating to hoop, I mean, there's loads of hoop classes that you can use. You can use these classes, of course. If you hooped every minute of these classes, you'd be hooping about 3 hours a day. You could put your own music on and whatever it takes. Hooping is kind of like a relationship where the more time you spend with the person, the richer and deeper it becomes, the better it feels. When you take too long a break, it starts to feel guilty. If you only have 5 minutes a day to hoop, then hoop 5 minutes a day. hooping, I'm warming up my whole body. If I have been feeling bored in my hoop, I'm going to bring even more energy into my hoop. Try to animate the hands. If you're like me, you might need to lean back in your hoop a little bit more. You might punch over it. You can think of what we're doing right now as opening up, but also polishing. You're smoothing out those rough edges. All the way around, all the way around, all the way around. Heart rate up. Right. Let me make sure I'm on track here. Oh yeah, this one has a weird. Okay, so for this next exercise, let me check my notes. Oh yeah. For the next exercise, what I will do sometimes if I'm having like a board practice but I want to feel that rush is I'll take something that I can do but that I know I need to work on, okay? And after teaching these classes recently, I've realized that my second current angle is not as strong as it used to be. You guys taught me that. And so I want to kind of get that strong. So for me, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pick something that I can do but I wanna work on. I'm gonna pick my second current, and specifically, I'm gonna pick angle hooping with it. And I know this feels like a demonstration, but I'm actually just working on this in front of the camera with you. So you can pick anything you want. You could pick, flippy, foldy stuff if you wanted to, but I'm picking this because this is something that I want to get better at, and I want to just cut myself a lot of space so I can just be in second current earth. So you could pick any exercise, any way of hooping. I want to work on second current.
Something good. Oh, something good.
Good. I'm picking one skill that I want to work on. For me, it's second current waist angles.
Get high, hit the floor before you go.
I'm working that over and over and over again.
Your mind, blood sport, but something good.
Yep.
Oh, something good.
And while you're working on something, your body is getting a very sophisticated workout.
Oh, something good tonight, make me feel about it.
And even if you're not enjoying it in the moment, bliss is on the way. Anything that you're okay at that you want to get better.
48,000 seats, please, and watch my memories of you. Now that I'm fully clean, the matadors no more distract from you. Get high,
Keep going.
Matador, that's avocado, you're my blood
This is
spot.
a long song. I might pick legs.
Something good,
Legs could be something that I want to give some flight time to.
something good. Oh, something good. Oh, something good tonight. Make me forget about you for now.
Giving my second current airtime. Giving it a chance to show me. There you go. Second current to my shoulders. Again, you're just working on anything that you're okay at that you want to give more time to. This is the part that's so often forgotten about. The good that you're doing for your body right now will last a lot longer than the song. The good that you're doing your body right now will last a lot longer than the song. It'll help you handle what you're going through. It'll help you find a solution. It'll help you deal with uncertainty. Good. Good. How's it going? Okay. Now, hopefully, we've worked up the body, and now we can kind of let go. So this next song is a free hoop for you. You can hoop any way that you want to. I'll be talking to you a little bit through it, but mostly it's a free hoop. See if things have picked up for you. Remember, you be you. Right? By now, your whole body is warmed up, hopefully. By now, your awareness is in both hands. Right? And you hoop the way you like. Any way you want to hoop. Hopefully flow's taking over. Right? Any way you want to hoop, any way you want to move. I have never been a performer as far as a hoop act. So I had the luxury of not worrying about how things look so much. But there is a little freedom in that, because sometimes you can find a movement that might feel good but not really look good. You can always shoot video and sharpen it later, but letting go of how every single move looks can be really helpful for finding your joy in the hooping. Sometimes movements just come in kind of ugly, but polish and flight time turn them into something that you love. Right? Any way you want to move is fine. Sweet-ish. Okay. For this next exercise, I want you to pick something that you would, oops, let me turn this down a bit. We're gonna pick something that, oh, I thought this was over. We're gonna pick something that you want to work on, And for me, I'm going to pick head hooping, but you could pick anything. You could pick anything, but you're going to pick something that you want to work on. And I'm going to try to work on head hooping. I've been noticing through actually showing up for you guys, I've been noticing that my head hooping isn't exactly where I wanted it to be. So I think one thing that'll motivate me is if I can get in there and do some work and get my head hooping going again. So anything that you want to do, pick something that you want to work on. It could be balance, it could be anything. For me, it's going to be head hooping because I need it. I used to think I was pretty good at it, and lately, I don't know, I don't feel so good about it. So you're working at something that you want to get good at, something that you want to get good at, or something you feel like has been neglected. You work that for a song. I was working on head hooping. It's kind of hard to do it with the mic on. Okay. Anyway, any movement that you want to work on, the way that you want to move. I'm working on head hooping. This is a solid 5 minutes. Sorry, guys. Okay. And then for this last exercise, I hope you guys are still with me. I hope we're still on all the streams. Nobody's commenting that we're not, so I hope we are. Anyway, for this next exercise, we're going to do one more just kind of let her rip type exercise, and then we'll have a free hoop. But this next exercise is called polishing. And with polishing, what you try to do is pick something that you really like and rock that thing. And it could be something as broad as like footwork, or it could be something like really limited to just to one movement. But here we go. Polishing. This is where you do the same thing over and over and over again. Same movement. It could be shoulder hooping. I might pick shoulders.
I like the way that you turn me on. I like the way that you turn me on.
For those of you that dig core hooping and you want to get, oh, you're welcome. For those of you that dig core hooping and want to be better at it and want to be more fluid at it, this is an example of something that you can see results in pretty quick. And I can tell you from firsthand experience that just moving your feet, however crazy, however undancy it is, just moving your feet is how you become a fluid core hooper.
Baby boo, your look is too cool. Got that contract, smart ass graduate school. Wait a minute, give me you said it better. Be chemical ready, be medical, baby. You're looking to get loose. No gang bang, but we came with a gang of goons, and we really like to break them rules. So toss it up, you the boss, baby. You got flies, type of big name boss lady. Yeah, play it cool when you do what you do. You got
Just
that
polishing
good
your hoop
baby,
right now.
tell me it's true.
Just polishing the
to the
movement.
end of that big blue, loving to lift your guard, man. I'm hoping I break through. So take 2 of that B3K. I like
Just
to stay up through
polishing.
the AM. We could sleep all day. Looking for a kickback, cause all we do is get up. And all you gotta do is sit back, cause it's about to pick up. And y'all really like to get that. So tell me, how do I touch? I heard you're looking for a throwback, back.
I like the way that you turn me on. I like the way that you work it out.
Right?
I like the way that you turn me on. I like
I'm
the
just
way
rocking the
that you wear it out.
same shoulders.
I like the way that you turn me on. I like the
I'm doing it for me.
that you turn me on. I like the
I don't know your real name, so I just can't go to the back room, and I don't need no champagne. Only got a few bucks while you're asking. Now you know I love you so.
It was actually shoulders that really helped me find my connection to hooping. I had been a rave kid and kind of a hip-hop fan, and hooping at the waist just wasn't doing it for me at first. But I was used to popping my shoulders. I was used to moving my hands. And so when the hook showed up there, I could finally like feel some of my old dance become new dance.
Eyelashes on flick. 5 racks off dancing all week.
If you like this playlist, it'll be on SoundCloud.
Benjamin pockets out looking like the ears on an elephant. That's how she put a pretty ass through nursing school. That's how she put a little man through nursery school. That's how she got a little pad, little person shoes. Got a little man,
Polishing.
little girlfriend too. The vegan strip club.
Balance takes polish. Lips take polish.
With the roller quarters like I'm playing dig dug. She gave me
Great.
a fist bump. Now I'm that dick scrubber.
Folds.
Don't ever get number. Drives her all over just like the special kids bus. Drop her off at 11:40, pick her up at 7 in the morning. Mom says I'm disappointed. She does it for me.
The music really helps you find the time to polish your movement with the hoop.
I don't know your real name, so I just can't go to the back room, and I don't need no champagne. Only got a few bucks while you're asking. Now you know I love you so.
You know I love you so.
But I'm almost out of dough.
Almost out of dough.
Oh no, don't go ahead, I'ma hit the ATM.
Oh, decline? Damn.
Okay, everybody. Thank you for everything, guys. These next two songs are free hoop. You can hoop any way you'd like to. Thank you for joining me. Thanks for, Ann says, thanks for being here with us, guys. We're gonna free hoop 2 songs. Ann or me will take the camera. But thank you so much, guys, for everything. You wanna go? It's my studio audience, Ann Humphreys. You broke a hoop. That's awesome. That's hardcore. Right? This track is good. Right? Come home, come home, come home, come home. Right? Thank you, everybody. I have been hooping since 2001. I've been teaching since 2005. I've never ever met someone that didn't get better if they hooped regularly. Never. Never. And by better, I mean freer. I mean freer. freer to flow with the song. Yep. Thank you, everyone. Nice. We'll be jamming at 3 o'clock on Saturday, Eastern Standard Time. Thank you, everyone who joined us. Nice. The next jam, Saturday at 3. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.